like to pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda as presented. Do you have any changes or modifications? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor? Aye. Public comments. Mary Kay Elder.
Okay, we got a lot going on around here. Randy, as a Republican county chair, and this fire deputy is running as clerk on the Republican ballot, is it even legal for you to be making any decision on this matter? Whether you're gonna pay her out or let it go to court or what?
Well, I think duties
I've
as,
had several people ask
okay,
me
you
that.
don't want to hear what my opinion is. Go on.
No, go ahead. I just said I've had several people ask me this. And I don't know the answer. Do you?
Well, in my opinion, the party and the party affiliation has no point to this whole issue. It's strictly an employment issue, and it's how it may impact the county financially. And that's what the basis of all the decisions are being made. It's not related to a party. So with that, I believe that's my duty.
Well, I don't know I don't know how it wouldn't be related to a party, even though it is an employee. But Indiana at will employment state is what we are. First deputy is directly tied to the elected personal office of the clerk. The clerk generally possesses the power to terminate that deputy at any time for non-discriminatory reasons. Firing deputy because of political disagreement is usually legal.
You say legal or illegal?
Usually legal.
Illegal.
Legal.
Legal. You can fire someone because of party affiliation.
A first deputy, you don't have to have, it's different than your other deputies. You don't have to have a reason.
Well, I respect your legal opinion, but the legal opinion that we're receiving on this is there's some First Amendment and 14th Amendment issues involved with this, which lands us in federal court. Federal court is a place that the county doesn't want to defend themselves in.
Well,
So that's where we're at on this issue. And I mean, if you want to go on and make your statement, I think.
have you ever went in and talked to the other two deputies in that office?
We have not done that. Commissioners do not hire nor fire
I know that.
employees.
And I
Council
don't,
doesn't either.
I don't think the only people that were in executive sessions were department head and us
Council and
and the
commission.
council. I mean, legal counsel.
Well,
I mean, we're not a court, we're not a jury, we're not making these decisions. Evidence only, not opinions. And we're making these decisions based upon the best interests of the county and the taxpayers.
well, you know, you've got the insurance that would cover you, cover the county.
And what's our limits?
I have no idea what.
We do know what they are. And once we get into federal court and we have to start paying legal fees, our insurance will not cover those. So the liability will come back directly to the county and it'll be paid out of the county taxpayer's pocket.
Well, I don't see how you can justify giving that deputy $27,000 plus legal fees. And you know, I seen on Facebook where she had a GoFundMe account set up for her legal fees. So, and then you're gonna pay her again? She's gonna keep that money from what she got for her GoFundMe account for her legal fees?
I think this is, to be respectful here, whatever goes on in Facebook is not relevant with county making these decisions. If she collected $1 or $10,000, we have no idea. And we didn't set it up, we're not funding it, we have nothing to do with that. Now, if you have an issue with that, then that needs to be addressed with whoever set up the GoFundMe page.
Right.
But the county didn't set it up, the commissioners, the council, no one had any involvement
No,
in
the
that.
deputy set it up.
So
And
it's
we're gonna
within
give
her constitutional rights to do that.
So,
And if people choose to contribute to that, then they can.
so then
But we
that's
can't
gonna be.
restrict them. We can't ask her for an accounting of how many people donated, what the funds amount to, and we're gonna deduct that from your money. I mean, how far reaching in her personal life do we need to go? We're simply looking at the whole picture and determining what we believe as elected officials is the best path forward in
Well,
this
You
incident.
know, she come up here, she spoke
She
publicly.
never spoke at our meeting, did she?
Not yours,
Council
she
meeting.
did at the council.
Then you need to address that with the council.
I am Thursday night. But she made her statement. Joan, all she did was belittle Joan, and Joan never got an opportunity to speak publicly. And I don't think that's fair at all. Now, do you?
We're having a back and forth, but I clearly state, just like we have here, we have public comments. If Joan chooses to sign up, as you have, and bring the issue forward, she has the same as the first deputy had. And I believe that's how it came about. She signed up, wanted to speak to the council. That's what she did. Joan could have likewise done the same thing if she chose to do that, but it's not a mandatory thing.
There are a lot of things too that in executive session, especially since this is in litigation, that we cannot speak about. And, you know, I'm not telling anybody that they can't come up here and speak, but you gotta be very careful what you say as long as it's in litigation.
My personal opinion, I think this should be public information before you go handing out $27,000.
I mean, it's gonna all come out under any kind of request for freedom of information,
Mhm.
but during litigation, it's not public record. It has not been, we voted to pay it, the council has to vote to fund it.
But
Once
will
that
all come out.
happens, the documents have not been signed. So until that goes through the process, it's a negotiation in the process. So throwing things out are just speculation. So when and if that all happens, I agree with you. The public needs to know exactly what happened and why this occurred, and they will. I assure you.
Well, just so it's the truth.
If it's not,
That's all I can say.
Just
So
don't
it's-
believe all this page book stuff. Whatever you call
Well,
it.
exactly. But I'm saying, you know, those girls weren't even talked to about that. And I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Like I said, there's things that we
There's
can't talk
more.
about.
Then one side to a story.
Sure there is, there's two sides.
Yeah.
Mhm. But, you know, like I say, there's things that we can talk about and there's things we can't. And that was part of our executive session.
We'll see what happens.
Next item we have on our agenda is approval of the minutes from 7/06/2026. Changes or modifications?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Drug Court Committee, who wants to initiate this?
I'll start
Okay.
and look for backup.
Why do you think you need it?
You're good.
Well, I know, you make it very clear that the council commissioners didn't.
Yes,
So-
that is
so-
correct. I sent each of you an email from our community corrections director, Tracy Fisher,
Mhm.
where she outlined a little bit of what happened. Our drug court is funded through a grant through community corrections. Our community corrections grant, just to give you a little bit of an education, it's two parts. And the legislature cut $11.3 million from community corrections and subsequently cut our entire drug court funding. And so whenever we found this out on June the 29th, we called a special meeting with our drug court advisory board. Ms. Hurst sits on that board. Ms. Chapman here sits on that board. And the opioid funding was brought up, that there is a restricted part in that funding that drug court would be eligible for. It's an evidence-based program. I gave you a brochure
Mhm.
that speaks a little bit about drug court. That is therapeutic in nature, addresses clients' mental health needs. It's a sentencing alternative to prison. I brought with me today 3 individuals who have graduated from our drug court program. I have some numbers of graduates that are on my phone. I left my phone. Since we started drug court, over 170 people with substance abuse diagnosis have been given resources in this county. Of those, 94 have graduated. Again, I've got 3 here today to talk to you about their experiences and why they are asking for you to award us this funding. 64 terminated, and overall we have a 68% success rate in our drug court program.
68, is it? Pretty good.
I think so. Those are numbers we like. The most important thing I think about the drug court program, even for the individuals that were terminated or the people that did not graduate, they still were given the resources and they know how to go back to those resources. And we're not a program that would ever close the door to someone who needed help. These individuals here today, they each have my telephone number. They all know how to get a hold of us if they need anything. And again, what we decided as a drug court team is to ask 3 previous graduates, past graduates, to speak to you 2 minutes. We're not going to take your whole night. Just about their experience and again, why they're hopeful you will award this money. The plan is, because I know you're going to want to know the plan. I know you. The plan is, in community corrections, we have some project income money. And then if we are awarded this money, that will guarantee 2 years. In that time, I've spoke with Commissioner Thorne, and she said, and I'm not going to get this right, RJL. RJL has a grant writer
Yes, they
that
got
we're
right in
hoping to
division.
work with to look for money.
Mhm.
We are also hopeful that Representative Bartels, it's been indicated to me through Councilman Hart that he did not believe that this was supposed to happen.
Right.
And so we're hopeful that within this 2-year period, this will be corrected. But if not, again, Commissioner Thorne indicated that we may have a grant writer that you guys
Right.
are already
You
contracted.
just have to contact Jonathan and
So,
their
That's the
people.
plan, is to use this money to get us through at least 2 years while we find an alternative funding source in hopes that we'll be re-awarded this money. We are a certified program. We are evidence-based. We have a commissioner and a councilman who sit on our advisory board. all of our funding passes through the auditor's office and ultimately to you guys. You would be able to see exactly where your dollars are being spent. I had Ms. Fisher break down those amounts for you in the letter that was sent to you. But before I ramble anymore, who's going for Candy?
Before you get away.
Okay.
So my question is, could you just, I generally got the idea that a lot of the people in the public do not.
Okay.
So for instance, I'm a first-time drug offender, and I don't know which one of you.
This is a Samantha question.
Okay. So how is this person selected for drug court? And I think, if I understand correctly, it's an alternative to regular court. It's an opportunity to redeem yourself
Yes.
with this established program. So how do we determine?
The individuals who are referred to drug court first have to have the criteria
Mhm.
of a substance abuse diagnosis. But before any of that happens, typically the prosecutor's office is the gatekeeper of individuals who are eligible. Probation also, if someone has a probation violation, probation can refer, and community corrections can refer as well. Most of our drug court referrals come from the prosecutor's office, and Samantha, I'll let you field that question if you don't mind.
So we
Hey.
evaluate,
You won't pick that up on the microphone without it.
The new people doing this.
And Judge, please don't wander off.
Okay.
for drug court, we usually look for, different aspects. Number one, you do have to live in the county. So the people who are being served by our program are people who live in Perry County. You typically see people who have the first-time offenders not go through drug court. A lot of times we don't get the first-time offenders going through drug court, not because we don't offer it, but because the defense attorneys tend to ask for something that's easier. So that's one thing about drug court, is that it's not an easy program, and it requires somebody to want to make a change in their life. It requires them to be dedicated to it. And so a lot of our first-time offenders don't end up in drug court. It's usually the people who, we've seen them a couple of times, people who might be facing habitual offender enhancements, but all of those have been, you know, your level 6 possession of meth kind, death cases, things like that. So we screen cases, decide who we think we should offer it to, make that contact with the defense attorney, or if the person's pro se, we offer it to them pro se. From there, they get evaluated and go into the program if they are found to be meet all the criteria, which, like you said, you have to have.
So in other words,
And the
then,
drug court team, just to let you know, so after Samantha determines that they're eligible, she brings it to the drug court team. The drug court team consists of a representative from LifeSprings. It consists of the prosecutor, myself, probation officer, Brandy Glenn, and the drug court case managers. And Jeff Hagedorn is the defense attorney who sits on the drug court. And then the team decides if this individual is a good fit for drug court.
okay, so once they get accepted into drug court,
Yes,
do you tailor a program?
if you look on page. On the flyer,
I just got that, so I haven't had a chance to read it,
So
so.
we have phases. And so drug court itself is a minimum of 14 months, minimum. However, the individual goes through the phases on their time. So basically, as you can see, in phase 1, they're going to court 2 times a month. They're engaged with treatment. A lot of times, that treatment they're receiving is outpatient daily treatment,
Intensive
outpatient treatment. They're engaged with supervision with their case managers. They're developing a case plan for their mental health needs. They're having weekly office visits with their case managers. We have random home visits. That's part of the drug testing that we asked you about. We have, we start to address housing. A lot of our participants come to us homeless or they're couch surfing. So we're working actively to help them find housing work. If they can't find a job within a certain time period, there's they have to start doing community service. I believe that idle hands are the devil's work, and we don't want that. And then we start to make them see different changing people, places, and things in their lives. And then phase 2, then we start to address their medical needs. A lot of the individuals that we're seeing have a lot of underlying medical issues that haven't been addressed. They haven't been to the dentist in forever. They haven't been to the eye doctor forever. So we're starting to address more of their mental needs and medical needs. We begin to look at recovery support groups for them within the community. Again, we're helping with housing, and that's whenever our case managers start working with these individuals. Drug court is not just about getting someone off drugs. It's about helping the whole person. Our goal is to never see them again in court and to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle. And healthy lifestyle is financially, personally, getting their mental health in check. It's the whole picture. And so then we move into phase 3. And then, it's still your biweekly office visits with your case manager. They start a drug court journal. Again, we're starting to monitor their recovery support groups more. The whole recovery networks, that's important because that's a whole nother support for when we're out of the picture. And then that's whenever we start to get them engaged in the community. And Danny will tell you about that. He's super engaged in our community, as you can tell by his Shrek shirt. And the last phase is we go down to just a monthly office visit. They're continuing their drug court journals. They're maintaining their recovery networks, maintaining pro-social activities. They go through another assessment, another needs assessment to make sure that we're addressing all of their needs before they graduate. And this is the phase that if a person has the ability, that we really encourage maybe them going back to school, looking at like long-term jobs, that sort of thing. So, and again, it's very individual based when they pass phases and what our expectations of that individual are during all of this. And a lot of it, the majority of phase completion depends on what their therapist tells us, how well they're advancing in therapy. Did I miss anything?
And they have sober requirements
Obviously,
throughout.
And
But
testing and that associated with.
And so if they do have a relapse during the program, that doesn't necessarily mean we're automatically done with them. We work with them, but there is a requirement to be sober for a certain number of days to be able to go to the next phase. So we're not passing people through to the next phase.
Mhm.
When they're relapsing, we're readdressing what was going on, what was happening, why that happened.
Correct.
So in other words, this is where the funding to the support staff
Yes,
that holds this whole thing up, this is the
It's a glue.
funding you're looking for.
yes. And it's not it's drug court, but as you can tell from this is a community-based program. I failed to mention that the sheriff always sits in on our drug court, and our drug court team, and in actual drug court. It's open to the public. And again, these individuals will explain exactly what it means to the individuals in our community. And we don't have a lot of evidence-based programs for rehabilitation in this community. And this is one, and we've got numbers to back it up. We're certified, we get audited every year. You have members that serve on the advisory board for this program that are given actual numbers of individuals we're serving each month, who's graduating, what's happening. This is something that it's easily accessible too, if you ever have questions about where this money is going.
And so what you're asking for, are you asking for $100,000 to be spread over 27, 28?
No,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
So now, yes,
for
which
the year 27.
so,
Year
so
20
currently in project income, that's what it's called, project income. There is enough there to cover a year, 1 year. And that's-
From July 1 or
January.
January
Yeah.
1. So you've got sufficient for the next 6 months.
Till the end of the year.
Yes,
Make it to the end of the year,
Okay.
Yeah, we
And then-
received that funding.
and we can, based on what they have in project income, we could fund 1 year of drug court. We don't believe that the funding issue is going to be solved in that 1
It's
year.
gonna take longer.
So we're asking to be able to use the opioid settlement money to make it through this year of the upcoming year of 2027.
Right.
Continue to save in project income
Yes.
to be able to use that for 2028 because we don't believe 2028 will be fixed yet. We believe that in 2029, the funding issue will be fixed by 2029, or we're hoping so.
We're hoping.
But Tracy Fisher has been very vigilant and saved money in project income over the last several years for a rainy day. And the rainy day has come. The rainy day was when we found out a few weeks ago that we're not going to have this funding going forward. So
It was just recently discovered that they're not getting
Yeah.
funding.
June
It-
29th.
Yeah, it wasn't just 6 months ago or whatever, what have you.
So-
So they're working diligently
So-
to get it.
I think your program is excellent.
Thank you.
Because if we could take a citizen and turn him into a productive citizen, rather than they ended up in our jail, we benefit both sides.
Absolutely.
So, and your success rate is surprising, really
Oh.
good.
I will say this, I have sat in on drug court several times. And I've seen individuals come in and they kind of slid off the wagon, if you want to put it that way. And I've seen Lucy take her foot and put it where it shouldn't go with
where it
warnings
needed to go.
where it needed to go. And it worked. It worked. I mean, these individuals are going to struggle with this for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
It's not going to cure them. There's not a cure for addiction, but it gets easier and it gives them a structure. It gives them an outlook on life. And I truly believe this is a good thing.
Now, what I'd want you to think about is that we would put something forward as a backstop with you using our opioid money, because I think there's opportunities out there for grants. And if we could successfully secure those, then we just offset the opioid money with grant money. But we would guarantee, if we didn't get a grant at any which way, then those funds would be available for use, in that respect. Follow me?
No.
Because I
Okay, let me explain.
I think there's a fair chance with several organizations in Indiana that we could secure grants for operating this. Okay. If we could successfully get the grants, that will fund you. The opioid could stay in place. Follow me? So if I could secure $100,000 or $50,000, whatever it is, through a grant, that'll take care of your needs. So if we take our opioid money and say, we're going to guarantee this program continues, because you've got that as a backstop. But in the interim period of time, you've got enough money to operate for a while. I say we start looking tomorrow for grant opportunities. So if we can put something in place, then that money would be available for the program versus opioid. But it would just be if we are successful. But I think there's some opportunities that we could explore to get some funding. But utilize, follow me, what I'm doing?
I don't like the if part.
You're gonna have,
Well,
I don't like that in part either, Rebecca.
it
No.
sounds like we're getting the money either way. It's either going to be through a grant
Yeah.
that you guys get us or the opioid.
That's exactly correct.
But
But I
it
don't
will
want, I don't want to necessarily use the opioid money up if we have an opportunity to pick up funding elsewhere. Because
Well,
we
why don't
can
we
use the
split the
opioid
difference
for
and
that.
go half?
Pardon me?
Why don't we split the difference and go half this coming up here?
No, you can use it all.
I can use all of your money?
No, no, I'm just, I am saying.
All right, let's take the vote.
If the need is there, it will fund drug court. If we can,
It will be committed
yes,
to drug court.
yes, we're not gonna spend it for anything
We
else.
won't, it won't be
Committed
spent
for
for
anything
anything else. It'll be strictly
But
for
if we
drug court.
can manage to get additional funding outside of this to support drug court, then we're gonna use that funding. But we don't know whether we will or not. But it allows you to have the comfort to know you're gonna have funding. And then if the county can be successful with grants,
Mhm.
then the opioid money can be utilized for some other use in the future.
And you said the guy from RJL is going
Yes.
to
Yes.
start.
And there's several community-based groups that would contribute, I believe, to things. We may get ourselves in a situation where we have to go dollar for dollar match, and that's okay too. We can use those funds to match. So, yeah.
But it will be that.
Whatever, but we have
It will be
to, today, I don't know,
to drug court.
but I think we need to start looking to see how we can, because I'm not only looking at, you're optimistic that you're gonna get funding from the state. If we can put something in place in the event the state doesn't fund this, so we can take care of ourselves, I think it's a project that we wanna continue to do because you're having success. So we don't wanna turn our backs on something like this. So I think we need to figure out how not only in 28, 29, 30 that it continues to serve the community. I just,
But you would with the other.
Yeah.
Period.
Do you
I'm
want,
not
do you want to
confused.
hear from?
Sure, I want to hear from all of them because I think that
And that just that
reinforces.
eases your
Do we
mind.
need, I'm sorry, this is the attorney. Do we need to put something in writing that this money is,
Sure, we can,
Set
we
aside,
can
yes.
earmark it for that.
We can
use
earmark
Okay.
it for that.
And say that it
I
was,
would feel better if there's just
Be
if there's
restricted.
something in
Right.
place that says
For
money
drug court.
is for drug court.
Mhm.
Okay.
do what?
If you vote on it, the minutes will all.
Well, that, or she probably wants some kind of a commitment so
Yeah,
that
we can
we,
go ahead and vote on it
that
anyway.
we, that the commissioners are on board. I mean, the council has to support this also.
We can go ahead and vote on it amongst me and you, and the
Yeah.
council can,
It's just, and we can draft a document, resolution or something is what would serve.
I would prefer that.
And just say, here's what
You
our
know, I
intent
mean,
is.
My fear is, if something happens to me or anyone else and there's someone new here, that this money was
it'll
committed.
be there.
I'm
It's
good with that.
committed.
Okay. All right, Candy. I'll let you choose yourself.
I got it.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Candy Cameron. I thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. 19 years ago, my life looked very different. Addiction had taken away my direction, my self-respect, and most painfully, my children. I had lost the trust in my family, and I was headed down a path that could have ended in prison or worse, death. Drug court changed that for me. Drug court did not simply punish me, it held me accountable. It demanded responsibility. It required me to show up, be honest, follow the rules, and do the hard work of recovery. It gave me structure when my life had none and support when I thought I had no future. Because of that program, I now have been clean for 19 years. I have my children back. I regained the respect of my family. Today, I manage a restaurant. I own my home. I own my car. I pay my bills, and I contribute to my community instead of taking away from it. Those things may sound ordinary to you, but for someone who once believed they had lost everything, they are quite extraordinary. They represent responsibility, they represent accountability, and they represent a life rebuilt. Most importantly, drug court taught me something that I had forgotten. My life is priceless, and every person struggling with addiction has value even when they can't see it themselves. Drug court gives people the chance to discover that value before it's too late. When you fund drug court, you're not just funding a program. You are funding parents who come home to their children, workers who can fill jobs, and homeowners who can pay taxes, citizens who can give back, people like me. I stand before you as proof. Recovery is possible and drug court does work. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Proud of you. Good job.
I'm April. Good evening, my name is April, and I'm here to share why the Perry County Drug Court Program is so important, not only to our community, but to me personally. And if I cry, it's because it does mean a lot. There was a time in my life when addiction had taken control. I lost sight of who I was. I didn't know how to live without drugs. Drug court didn't just hold me accountable, it gave me the structure, support, and tools I needed to learn how to live life on life's terms without turning back to addiction. It wasn't easy, recovery never is, but drug court believed in me when I struggled to believe in myself. Judge Goffman and Tracy pushed me to be a better version of myself and gave me a second chance at life instead of defining me by the worst mistakes I'd ever made. Because I completed the program, my charges were dismissed. I have a complete clean slate. More importantly, I was able to regain something that meant more, and that was my children. I was able to rebuild trust with my family and repair relationships that I thought were broken forever. Today, I'm living proof that people can change when they're given the opportunity, the accountability, and the support they need. Drug court doesn't just change one person's life, it changes entire families. It gives parents back to their children, sons and daughters back to their parents, and productive citizens back to our community. I stand here today because someone believed I was worth saving. I hope Perry County and the state of Indiana continues to invest in drug court so that others have the same opportunity I was given. Everyone deserves the chance to recover, rebuild, and become the person they were always meant to be. When you fund drug court, you're not just funding a program, you're investing in people. You're investing in families being reunited, children getting their parents back, and fewer people returning to jail, and stronger, healthier communities. I know this because I am one of those success stories. I'm not a statistic. I am the return on the investment. Please continue supporting the Perry County Drug Court Program so others can have the same opportunity I was given. One decision to fund this program has the power to change countless lives, just as it changed mine. I am forever grateful and thankful for the Perry County Drug Court Program, the two arresting officers, Pammy and Chad, who have always stood by me and supported my sobriety and still are there if I ever need anything, Judge Goffman, and Tracy Fisher for believing in me and pushing me further than I thought I was capable of, prosecutor for allowing me to have the opportunity to be in drug court, and the entire team for everything they have done for me to help push me to be who I am today, and for always being there for me. They're still there for me today.
Thank you very much.
Actually, 6 or 7 years ago, I think, I always get it mixed up. 6 years ago, I went to jail for the first time ever. And so I'm 6.5 years sober. So this very
Congratulations.
important program.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Danny?
Top end.
Not gonna happen. Hi, I'm Danny. I've been born and raised here in Perry County, and I developed a drug habit about 8 or 9 years ago. I've been 3.5 years clean today. I've been graduated from the program for 2 years. Within that 2 years, I've been a big part of this community. I am in musicals. I never thought that I would have the life that I have today, and it's all because of this program. This program has changed my life. It's not just a program, it's family, because after the program, it's not over. They always have your back, and this program doesn't just change lives, it saves them. That's all.
do want to say this is not easy to come to that microphone and share your stories. I want to thank all three of you for showing up this evening, because a lot of people don't understand how just some of the simple things that we take for granted, drug court, how they impact people's lives. And
A lot of lives.
if we can take county resources and continue to make a positive change in people's lives, it's something that I believe we need to support. So I want to
I
thank you
will
all.
always support it.
And this group over here for taking on, you could have at least, easy enough said, state didn't fund me, well, let's just walk away. That shows that you have dedication also to these people and that you're working for a better community. So I want to thank you all. With that, I'd entertain a motion to earmark by resolution funding for
$103,328.
how much?
$103,328.
So you've got it.
I got
For the
it.
program to be used as required.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for attending. Next item up, Steve Howland. I hope he doesn't have air conditioning in this kind of weather problem.
He said no, it won't let him turn it up past 70, turn it down past 74.
Is that the
See,
problem?
feels like he's outside.
Our AC, it's one of the original units that was there when the building was built, so it's 26, 27 years old. It went out and,
So have you been sweating since it went out?
no,
Okay,
Not
so you've
too much.
already fixed it.
we already fixed it.
All right. You got money to pay for it?
No,
That's the problem.
that's the problem.
That's why he's standing there.
I
You know-
wanted to see if you guys would pay it out of that fund that you paid for the EMS side out of when theirs went out.
See edit? Is that
That's
where?
what you paid that last
Seated.
time. Seated.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I had to have a new furnace put in, and that right there is a 3-phase unit, isn't it?
Yes, 3-phase.
And it's a pretty good size unit.
Probably a 5-tonner.
Yeah, and my furnace alone was $4,500, so that right there, 9,000 what?
9,140. Now, that's just the air conditioning unit though, right?
It's the inside and outside unit.
Yeah, but the furnace is still the same.
Yes,
Right.
we got in floor heat.
So that-
Oh, okay. So you have a
So that's
hot water heat.
that's really not bad at all.
Well, it's kind of catching me off guard, but we need to pay for it. He needs to
Yes.
have air conditioning. So I'd entertain a motion. We'll pay it out of that fund again until it runs dry.
Second the motion.
All those in favor?
Thank you very much. Also, you guys want an update on the paving?
Mhm.
Family sent me an email a week before last wanting an update for all of you, and
Okay.
it's been so hectic out there, I haven't.
I know with the rain and stuff you've had.
Oh, they got more today.
Miserable.
He had more coverage wash out today.
But Oreo seed and washed out a pipe again, we fixed earlier in the day,
So they had a 3-inch rain.
3-inch rain, yeah, Oliver Road.
Oh, boy. We don't have the 1/2-inch rains anymore, do we?
No, they're 3 or 4 inches at a time.
Mother Nature is not cooperating.
Yeah. On the paving, Shiloh is done except for the shoulder stone.
Okay.
They're gonna be back mid-August to finish the community crossings paving. And I talked with E&B today, and they're gonna be here the last part of August to do the left paving.
So end of August, see, we have, so CNR is gonna be mid-August.
Yeah,
And,
and E&B is gonna
E&B
be
is
the
gonna be
last
the
part of
end.
August.
The CNR will start down Girl Scout and all down in there.
They're doing
Okay.
that one, but I think that E&B has the stuff up behind Candleton.
Right.
Yes,
Short Road
Sulphur Springs.
and
And Cattail.
Cattail or Nip, I don't remember.
Cattail.
Cattail.
Nip tail.
33, number 33, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, good.
And
So
our
they,
bridges, But when we're replacing in Carter Valley down there, he's gonna start putting beams on it tomorrow. He's got, both wing walls poured. So it's coming along pretty good for the weather we've had. He's said he's gonna start setting the beams tomorrow, and then they'll pour the floor, put guardrails on, so it'll be done right away,
Probably looking like in 2 weeks, maybe,
probably.
at the most.
And the bridge on Oxford Road, I think it will be done tomorrow. These three guys here, a couple other our guys worked almost every day on that. There's no telling how much they've saved the county. I mean, I like to commend them for their hard work. It's been hot, miserable down there.
No,
I know, it's been nasty to be out. Not only is it
understand
hot, but the humidity's up there to,
And they come in mud all over them sometimes from down there in that creek.
and that's the
when you're
one. that
chasing
works out.
Charlottes down the creek, it just,
Is that on Oxon Road?
Oxen, OXEN.
Yeah.
And July, through June and July so far, like my guys have worked 251 and a half hours of overtime. We've had a bunch of trees. I think it's probably the most damage we've had in 30 years on the roads, and it just keeps repeating it every week. You know, it's same places wash out.
yep,
So we're behind on getting everything fixed, but we're doing our very
Yeah,
best.
well, you're never gonna be able to handle that volume of water.
No.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's just.
No, people want bigger pipes, but don't have to put in bigger pipe. You know,
if your
Yeah,
water's
yeah.
not, your water's gonna go through as it goes through.
Yeah, it's just too much rain at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see our lane mile distribution?
No,
We are going to get 281,000. Get my glasses on so I don't tell you wrong.
when did you find this out, Steve?
I think it was Wednesday,
Was
wasn't it, when I got something? Yeah,
Wednesday of last week.
281,000.
$281,901.31. So we'll have to do the community crossings again. We can apply for $718,098.69.
So in other words, this is deducted from the $1 million.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it didn't really amount to much. I
Okay,
mean,
but now again, if I understand this correctly, 718,000 is what the state will give us,
Yes,
and then we add 20% of that to it as a
Well,
match.
yeah, our match would be $143,619.74.
Right.
They reduced the match from 25 to 20%.
Oh, they did,
Right.
Yeah.
okay.
They started doing that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And the last thing, Leopold's having their picnic this weekend, and they're requesting to close a couple of streets up there again like they do every year. I just wanted to mention that to you.
Did we ever take them? I mean, we probably.
We've done it for the school when they have.
I'd
stuff out
entertain a
there.
motion, you know, the ones inside the town there, they've always
It's just,
closed.
yeah,
Little
it's not the
circle.
main one.
I know what it
Not
is.
square.
I don't remember the names
I
of them
don't
though, but.
remember the names either.
Don't look at me.
You guys remember, Jim?
See, we're the same way. We know where they run. We don't know the names of them, but
You know where they're at?
just to make it official, I'd entertain a motion to allow them closing the
I'll make a
roads.
motion.
So I'll
That was a
second it.
nice picnic out
All those in
church.
favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we've got that done, so.
That's all I have. Thank you guys very much.
All right,
You
Appreciate it.
too, stay safe, and you guys stay hydrated and
Next item up is we have payroll for 7/17/2026 in the amount of $184,928.05.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll withholding for the same date, 7/17/2026 in the amount of $39,388.78.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Health insurance claims in the amount of $1,919.32.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Second quarter sheriff's pension in the amount of $39,280.50.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Second quarter federal excise tax in the amount of $522.24.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Solid waste claims for 7/21/2026 in the amount of $4,033.64.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable claims for 7/21/2026 in the amount of $737,200.09.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item up, State Board of Accounts. It's an invoice for our federal audit, and I haven't thought through that one yet either. It has to do with, if everyone remembers, our ARP funds.
Mhm.
They come through and audit us every year. This year, it was in the $3,000 range, I think.
3,388.
3,388. In previous years, one was for 12,000, another one was for 17,000. And I think prior to that, it was 7,000, but we've exhausted the amount of money that we set aside for paying for audits. So, this is something we need to determine, and
Where's it going? Where can it come out of?
that's what I haven't really thought about. But it-
We did, all of the outside entity audits as far as the schools and municipalities. We actually paid those, this past claim docket as well. We
But
withheld
you-
those from their settlement.
Yeah, you recover those
So,
back from the
yeah.
tax revenues. So that's not,
No,
we can't charge the schools for our audits.
no.
So,
But we just paid those out of the money that was held from settlement. Typically with our state audit, we've paid that out of general.
is it budgeted?
Nope, you always have to do an additional appropriation.
Okay, so let's table this and you bring it to the council
on the
to see if they'll
federal.
include that with the, because they'll have their same audits that they have to pay for anyway. So,
How much is this invoice?
3,388. I didn't know if any of this was set aside with the general fund ARPA monies.
no, we set aside, I think it was a $35,000 or $37,000 for audits. I don't have that exact.
That was off the,
Out of ARP funds, because we knew we would have
Yeah.
to do that. And for
Auditor.
some reason, the second year, we had a $17,000 audit, which seems excessive, but then the second year we had 12, and now this one's down to 3. So they're going in the right direction, but we used all our money we had set aside. So ask them once, and if not, we'll figure out some other way to pay for it. Next item up is the discussions on the personnel policy and having somebody take over our human resource complaints. And the auditor's office overseeing employee benefits. Now, I know that Pam and you've had some discussions on this here, and my concern is what initiates everything is not the Commissioners Council or your office, unless it's personnel. We have a handbook with specific requirements on steps that must be taken. And I think we need to make every department head aware of this so that that handbook is followed, documentation is generated, offers for remedial, whether it's education or whatever it amounts to, is documented. And I think that's up front before we would start pulling in outside consultants. And if we could just sit down with an actual, like a framework of step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is how this needs to be handled. And then if it's resolved, then we don't engage an outside firm to have any involvement at all. But we clearly establish procedures that each department is familiar with if we have to go through training or create a document or whatever we have to do to make sure that the first steps follow not only the handbook, but legality, what we are actually asked to do.
Currently in the personnel policy handbook, it states that any HR claims or concerns go to the attorney. And that is actually in our handbook right now. So in the conversations and recommendations that I've had with and have discussions with Wagner, Irwin, and Shilley, the request was to take the auditor's office out of it. So with that, we don't have an attorney on hand all the time, to where they can do that, to where in our handbook, it would say, you contact this number or this email address at Wagner, Irwin, and Shilly, who is our HR consultant, and they charge us on an as-needed basis. There's no, if you don't call them, you don't pay anything, if they don't assist you with anything. And I brought this recommendation. I know Pam, couldn't be here today. I'm actually in the process too of getting ready to go to the council on doing some job description updates because it states human resource administrator. Technically, we in the auditor's office only do the administration part, which is employee benefits such as onboarding, offboarding, and insurance and retirement. So this is kind of to get the ball rolling on the first step of removing to where people are contacting trained individuals with the consulting instead of having to come to the auditor's office, and also being able to have that freedom of not having to, the words of walk the hall, of shame, or have to walk through the office on that. Currently, right now, we have $3,000 budgeted in the commissioners for consulting. Typically, that's what we've used for the HR. I know in past couple years, we've had to use it for some legality consulting. But just trying to get this cleaned up to where there's a plan. I do feel that, there is a plan, but I think it's a world of difference with having to call an attorney that, let's just face it, this isn't his, Perry County attorney is not his prime duty. So sometimes that's not always, able to be hit right off, where if we had the consulting there.
I think going professional is good, but we need to have someone established that's neutral so that that it's not taking the county side, it's not taking the employee side, so that an employee that has an issue that they want to bring forward, that they can bring that to a neutral party that serves as our HR administrator. Now, I've got this one bill that we just approved tonight, and it's a little bit of work from them, and it's a $500 bill. So my whole thinking is we don't want to open the floodgates to cost. So however we structure this, I still think we need to make sure that every department head is on board with the procedures, and maybe that will resolve most of the issues, okay? And then how we would determine we want to engage them. If someone wants to have a conversation, are they going to be having all the conversations? And if so, what's the expected cost per conversation? We have some issues currently ongoing in some other areas, and I just don't want this to spiral out of hand and become something that's overly excessively expensive. The employees deserve a neutral person to listen to some of their concerns. So absolutely. I don't know. I don't have this answer. That's what I'm trying to say right now. But the thought process, and I think we need to determine some kind of a framework and how we can put this together to make this work so that everybody's on the same page and comfortable with what their duties are. And I think if we can get it established, it will save us some heartburn going forward.
That's why they call it a handbook. And a lot of
And if we
people
need to-
ignore that handbook.
And if we need to adjust the handbook, then so be it. It needs to be done, but we need to probably get together and see how we can kind of put something together in a framework to try to get started. Or if someone out there is a professional and has
And reaching out to other counties, this is a lot of what other counties do, is Wagner, Irwin, Shilly is the highly used. And most of them have this where they go directly to them if you don't have a trained HR. So right now we have where they come to us in the auditor's office, and then we contact the attorney, and the attorney advises whether we need to contact Wagner, Irwin, and Chili, or gives us legal advice on that. We
I
just
think that,
think
you know,
move
all these
in.
offices need to just stay completely out
And
of
that's
it.
what we're trying to do.
Completely out of it.
But that's what we're
Well, that's
bringing
where
to
an
you.
HR administrator
We're
will,
trying to do. That we just want to do the HR, not even HR, I don't even want the word HR, I want employee benefits administrator. All HR goes to Wagner, Irwin, and Chili.
or someone else that we may have a part-time or professional group that would act as that person. I don't know. We just need to explore what our options are there. And if they do offer it, you know, as a consulting group, I'm fine with it. But to get an idea, if they're doing it for other counties, what's the average cost?
What's the
Just to get us an
average?
idea, you know,
Yeah.
for you to implement and act as their HR individual, you know, is it from this number to that number or whatever, depending, and it's gonna vary depending on how many people contact them, but just to get us an idea of what kind of funding we're looking
So
at.
get an average on that. They said the hourly, we would just have to redo the contract, because currently, right now, you know, it's not set up where
Right.
they're contacted
If
directly.
nothing else, try to get similar sized counties,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, with the population we've got and see what, if they're serving that need, then what their costs amount to.
Can do.
So we're gonna just
Table.
table that for now, and that's our last item. Next meeting is August the 3rd at 9 a.m. We have a joint session that same evening, the 3rd at 5:30 with the Planning and Zoning Board. So that'll be a public meeting held here also.
Run it, be here.
With that said, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Here, I'll read this now.
I believe.